In this video, I'm going to be asking whether makeup designed for older women is really worth it. I'll be testing two brands, Rumi and RMS, and finding out whether they are really worth our money. Because hold on to your hats, girls, they are really pricey. We'll apply the products and do an all-day wear test to see if they stand up to their claims that they suit our mature over 50 skins. And is this whole focus on mature women cosmetics a scam? Hello and welcome, or welcome back. So we're going to start with RMS Beauty first, because one of the products I've got from RMS is their concealer, which I have used before in videos, but I wanted to do a comparison because RMS Beauty doesn't say that it's just for mature women. It's for every woman and every age. It's just that RMS Beauty is fronted by an older woman who started the brand, and that's Rosemary Swift. And one of the things I really liked about the brand was that Rosemary applies the products on camera on her website, so you can see how she does it. And she is a mature woman. I'm guessing she's in her 60s. So that really spoke to me because I'm in my 60s I'm just about to be 70 in about 2 weeks' time. So I really appreciate seeing an older woman applying the products that I might be wanting to try. So the first product we're going to be trying is the UnCover Up Concealer, which I have in the shade 11. This is it here. It's quite sheer and it has other uses in that Rosemary says you can use it as a skin tint, which I have tried and I will try on camera one day, but that's not what we're going to do today. We're just going to use it as a concealer. Now, those of you who've watched my channel before will know that I've really struggled with concealer because I often get it congealed. Finally remembered the right word. Thank you, lovely subscriber, for pointing that out. Congealed under here, and we don't want that. So what I'm going to do is, before I apply the concealer, I'm going to try, and I did this yesterday and it worked a treat, so fingers crossed it's going to do that again, a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, which we all know and love, I'm sure. Actually, let me put my hair out of the way. So I'm going to apply a bit of this because I'm so into highlighter at the moment. I've completely changed my view of it. Once upon a time I never bothered with it, but now I absolutely love it. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to apply it under my eyes where I would put my concealer, or where I'm going to put my concealer. Now, one of the reasons I'm doing this is because one of my lovely subscribers suggested that I put a primer under my eyes. Now, I don't actually have a primer. I used to have the e.l.f. putty primer, but I don't know where that's gone. Don't actually have a primer, so I thought, well, I'll use this because a lot of makeup artists talk about this as a primer, or they used to back in the day. So I thought, well, I'll use this. And yesterday, when I was just trying it out for the first time, it did work really well. So fingers crossed it's going to do the same again. And I'm going to use a damp beauty sponge to smooth out the, well, it's not the primer, the Hollywood Flawless Filter, just to give my under eyes a little base. I'm not putting anything on my eyelids, by the way, and we'll come to that later because we are doing an all-day wear test. So we will come back at the end of the day, and I've got a long day. I'm going off to see a friend in Hastings on the south coast of England by train. Now let me zoom you in just so you can see. I think you'll see, it looks like it to me anyway, that my under eyes are looking nice and smooth, so they're ready for their concealer. And actually I'll keep you zoomed in while I apply it. So here it is, and I'm just going to get some on my little finger, like so, and this is in the shade 11. Now, interestingly, I noticed on the website, the RMS website, that Rosemary Swift talks about concealers with different shades. If you are looking for a shade, it might be worth watching that video on the RMS website, which of course will be linked below, as will all the products that I talk about today, just to see. I think it was a bit more nuanced, the shade, so I don't know why you wouldn't choose that, but I didn't because I didn't look at the website at the time. Never mind. I think this is very slightly a bit pale for me, very slightly a bit pale, you know what I mean, but it's fine. And I haven't got much colour on my face anyway because we didn't go away in the summer, and I obviously don't try not to get brown. It's not a good idea, is it really? So can you see what I mean? It is actually quite light, but we're just going to carefully pat it. I'm always so nervous about doing this on camera because what if I make a cock up? Don't want that, do we? Right, I've actually put some on this finger here as well, so it's just easier to show you as I'm, rather than crossing over here with the same finger. So let's hope, because of course when I do this I can't actually see what I'm doing because I need glasses to see close work, so it's all a bit guessworky, but anyway, we'll see how we get on. And then I'm going to use the damp beauty sponge to smooth out any issues that we might have. Right, there, it's applied. Let's get the sponge. Where's it gone? Right, get the damp beauty sponge and we'll just have a little pat. Now let me check in my magnifying mirror because, oh look, it does look really smooth, doesn't it? See? I take advice from my subscribers, you lovely subscribers, you know what you're talking about. This is what's so brilliant about YouTube, is the sharing of information, isn't it? I would never have thought of putting a primer under my eyes. I don't know why. Perhaps other bigger creators have suggested it before, but I've never done it before. There you go. Amazing. Well, honestly, that's worked a treat. So I would say RMS Beauty have scored with the concealer because it's worked a treat, and the Hollywood Flawless filter has obviously helped as well. So that's really good. So that's a win. Now, I haven't actually got any foundation on my skin. What I'm going to do now is use the Lisa Eldridge Flawless, no, it's not flawless, seamless. I love it how these beauty creators come up with different adjectives. So we've had flawless and now we're going to go seamless. And it's the Lisa Eldridge Seamless, and it's the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Tint. And actually, let me zoom you out again because we don't need to be quite that zoomed in, do we? There we are. So we've given that a good shake. I think I'm in the shade 7.5. I'm just going to pop a bit here and then I'm going to put it on with my fingers, I think, because that's probably the best way. We're not going to disturb the concealer in any way. We don't want to do that. I'm still really enjoying wearing skin tints, although I do love the e.l.f. new foundation, the can't remember the name of it, but you know the one I mean. Anyway, I did a video on it. If you haven't seen that, I will link that down below as well. But I suppose the weather, it's just on the turn now, I would say. In fact, yesterday was freezing cold. Gosh, it was really chilly. In fact, I'm in a little WhatsApp group with some close friends of mine, two of whom live in the country, so outside of London. One's on the south coast and the other one's in Gloucestershire. And they said they'd had to put the heating on yesterday. Oh my goodness. When you're in London, it's a lot warmer. So I suppose it's all the buildings and everything. And in fact, it often is, I'm in North London, in fact, it often is in central London 2 or 3 degrees warmer than it is up here in the north, the frozen North London, as it were. So we're quite lucky here. Although my house is quite cold, but I had a blankie on last night when I was watching telly, so that was okay. Right, enough rambling, Des, get on with it. So that's the foundation, or rather that's the skin tint. Just check that all is well. See, I'm going to zoom you in again. See, look how good that is. Look how good my under eyes are. Fantastic. Now I am going to use some setting powder, and I'm going to use my favourite Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Finish. As you can see, it's very well loved. This is my second one. I can't remember when I purchased this one, but it is my absolute fave. And I'm just going to apply that very carefully under the eye, really not too much, but I just need to take away a bit of the glow because it's just a bit too glowy for me. And also in my T-zone, I find I'm a lot oilier in my T-zone these days. So let's do that. We're just going to go, I'm so nervous of doing this because I don't want any congealing going on, but I think we should be okay. Yeah, there we go. Just being very, very gentle, just to mattify a little bit. And you can see I'm quite glowy here. I don't really like a glowy moustache area, if you know what I mean. We don't want that, do we? So I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Yep, still looking good under the eyes. Now, the next product we are going to use is also by RMS, and it is their eye tint. And to give it its proper name, it's an Eyelights cream shadow, and I have it in the shade Supernova. And this is this dear little tube here, and it comes with a handy key to get, I suppose, the dregs, as it were, out of the tube. But I don't know when that's going to happen. But anyway, it's a very nice idea, isn't it? And you only need a tiny bit. Now, I'm not going to put anything on my lids. I'm not priming them because Anne-Marie Swift says you don't need to. So let's see. So we're just going to take a tiny bit. Look at this lovely shade. It's this kind of a, not purpley, sort of, well, I suppose it is slightly a light purple, I would call it. Now, apparently this has organic green tea and quince in it. So I don't know what difference that would make. I used to have quinces in my garden, you know, a quince tree. Never really quite knew what to do with them because I'm not really a jam maker. Anyway, let's pop this on. We're going to be quite careful with it. It is buildable, says Anne-Marie. No, not Anne-Marie. says Rosemary. Look at that beautiful shade. Isn't that lovely? I have to be a bit careful not to go. Okay, actually, no, we need a bit more. See how pretty that shade is? Take a bit more on my finger. Just a little bit more. Oh, I don't want to overdo it. That's the thing, because then it kind of could smudge all over the show. I don't think it's a good idea to use a brush. I don't know. She didn't use a brush, Rosemary, on her. Oh no, I've got a huge blob on my eyelash. Let me just tidy that up. I did actually get some in my eye there. So I'm not going to speak to you while I apply this, while I reapply some on my left eye, because otherwise I'm going to make a bit of a pig's ear of it. So I'm just going to do that now without speaking to you. Oh, I'm just going to pull my eye like that. Oh, still got some on my eyelash, which I'm going to try and take off in a sec. I was going to say live TV. It's not live TV, but it might as well be. Right, I think we've sorted that out now. There is a tiny bit left on my eyelashes, but we won't worry too much about that. Anyway, the moral of the story is be careful when you apply it, perhaps. But it is a really pretty shade, isn't it? So the proof of the pudding, though, about whether it's long wearing or long lasting, and also whether one would need to put a primer on and some powder before you apply it, will be in the eating, as it were. But I think you'll agree it's a very pretty shade. Now, the final RMS product we're going to be trying on camera today, and I have used it before, but I think I was quite cack-handed with it, so I'm going to be a lot more careful. And that's the ReDimension Hydra blush, this one here, and I have it in the shade Hanky Panky. I love that name, don't you? So when I watched Rosemary on her site applying it, she used a very light hand, and she actually applied it, not this particular shade, but she actually applied the shade she was using, kind of like a bronzer, which I thought was quite interesting. So I'm going to be very, very careful as I apply this, very, very gentle, and just kind of tap it like that. You can always build it up. This is the thing. I'm learning now not to go in with a huge blam, as it were, but just to be careful. And we're going to do a little bit of what Rosemary did and just kind of pop it round, which I quite liked. So you see, we've got some colour. We really don't need any more than that, do we? Now on her site, she then used a cream blush on the apples of her cheeks, or maybe slightly higher than that, but I can't really do that because, or at least I don't have that blush. But the problem I've got with some of the RMS products is that they do have fragrance in them. So for example, I would love to purchase one of her lipsticks, and I think she's got a new range out at the moment, but they've got fragrance in them, so I can't use them. And those of you who are new to my channel, I'm allergic to fragrance, or at least certain ingredients in fragrance. So if it just says fragrance, I stay away. If it actually names the particular types of fragrance contained in it, then I know what to look for, and then I can't use that either. Very annoying. I just get really bad seborrheic dermatitis, that's all. Okay, so that's the final RMS product, and I do think it's really pretty, and I've been using it a little bit on and off, but I think the application method that Rosemary Swift recommends is the right way to go. So have a light hand, and I tried it yesterday and it did wear very well. So let's see how it does today. It's very humid today. It's slightly warmer than it was yesterday, but it's very humid. So we'll see how it fares at the end of the day. Right, those are the RMS beauty products. Now, like I say, they are not targeted specifically at older women. That is not their marketing. Their marketing is, it's a beauty brand, but it's fronted by an older woman, and she applies the products on her site, and that's why I was attracted to it. Now, let's talk about this other brand, and that brand is called Rumi Cosmetiques, so it uses a French name. Now, the reason I said in the title, is this a scam, is because on its website, it says it's a family-run business and it's full of gorgeous-looking older women. But actually, if you drill down into it, that is not true, because the owner of the business is a young man based in Latvia. And I know this because I looked it up on the British government's Companies House website, and there is his name. And interestingly, it said he created the company, I think 3 or 4 years ago, and then it was dissolved, or at least his involvement in it was dissolved a couple of years later. So I don't actually know who owns it now, but it's not a family-run business, and it's not run by any of the women pictured on the website. That you can be pretty sure of. And I'll link, of course, the details down below for you. So that immediately put my back up, but unfortunately I'd already bought the products before I saw that. So I should have done my due diligence, but you know, we're here trying out makeup. We're an older women community and we want to give these things a go. Now this Rumi Cosmetics is available on Amazon, which is where I bought the products from because I wanted them delivered quickly. But it has its own website, and it's all marketed at older women. Now, the products I decided to try from Rumi are the brow powder and the eyeliner, because they are often products that we struggle with. I didn't try the mascara, maybe I should have done, but anyway, they're very pricey. So the brow powder is £26, the eyeliner is £24. Details down below. But I thought it'd be really interesting to look at the ingredients and try and understand why they are marketed at older women. And the only things that these two products have in common and make them different from other products that I've tried is they both have castor oil in them. Now, I know the jury's out, or at least the jury's out for some people, as to whether castor oil is beneficial for our eyes and our lashes and our brows. Why they put it in an eyeliner, I don't know. So that is interesting to me, the fact that they've both got castor oil in them. And I know a lot of people think castor oil is a miracle product. I'm not one of them, but let's see how the products fare. But I think you'll agree that £26 and £24 is a high-end product. It's not a luxury product, but it's high-end and comparable to, say, Victoria Beckham or RMS Beauty. It's pricey stuff. So let's give it a go, having now pointed out that we're a little bit suspicious about their motives because they're not actually a family company and we're not very keen on people who mislead us, are we? But anyway, let's see. So we've got a very, very tiny wand. Very wee, isn't it? I'm used to sort of bigger wands to apply brow products, but let's see how we fare here. Not much going on there, is there? Let's put it back in. Try and get some more product on it. Okay, looks like we've got a little hair there, so let's see. No, there's nothing going on, is there? Now, to be fair to them, you can send the products back for a refund. So I don't know, I might think about doing this, because there is absolutely, look, there's nothing going on. Look at the gap here. In fact, let me zoom you in for a minute. Look, there's nothing there. My brows look exactly the same. Not impressed with that. Right, let's try once more. And actually, I'll tell you what, let me see if I can get some product onto my hand. There's nothing there, look. Well, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Do you know what? I think I'm going to send this back because it is absolutely ridiculous. There is nothing going on at all on the brows, is there? Nothing. That's quite shocking, actually. Anyway, let's try the eyeliner. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it was a dud product or something. Now, this is the eyeliner. It's called Lush Liner. Oops. And it's a retractable, let's see, put my glasses on. Oh yeah, there we are. And it's a retractable pencil. So let's see. Okay, well, that's got some colour. So that's something, isn't it? So we're going to try that now, see how we get on. I'm not going to talk to you while I do this because I do struggle a bit to do this and talk at the same time. I know we're putting it over the RMS eyeshadow, but I think it's nice. It's done the business. It's not too dark. It's a good colour for me, so we'll see how it fares. But the brows, no, that's no good at all. Right, let me go away, put the rest of my makeup on. I'm going to actually fill my brows in with my Mercier pencil because I'm not going out like this. Right, I'm just going to go away and put the rest of my makeup on. Don't go away. See you in a minute. Okay, I've filled in my brows with my Mercier pencil. And I've just noticed that there's a little bit of creasing under here. Now, I'm not going to attribute that necessarily to RMS. I'm not going to blame RMS's concealer for that. I'm just going to touch it up. Let me zoom you in just so you can see. Can you see it's creased a little tiny bit? So let me just tidy that up. Just smooth it if I can. I don't know about you, but I always find I get little hairs stuck to my skin. But the great thing is there's been no congealing whatsoever. So I'll just get my powder and just gently pat that so we can smooth over that crease, hopefully. Gently. Yeah, this is creased a bit as well, but I mean, no one's going to get that close, are they? Great, there we are. So what we're going to do now, it's about 8:30 in the morning. I'm not going to be back actually for 12 hours. I'm probably going to be home about 8 o'clock. And what I'll try and do is a check-in sort of late afternoon, probably after I've seen my friend and before I get back on the train. And then I'll come back this evening and let you know how it's all fared. Don't go away. Just about to catch the train for Hastings. Just thought I'd show you what I look like in natural daylight. Let's have a look how we're doing. It looks to me, and I haven't got my glasses on so I can't see terribly well, but it looks to me like the eyeshadow started to come off already. But just a reminder, I didn't actually put concealer on. looks as though the eyeliner has stayed on. Still got a bit of product on my eyelashes, but never mind. So eyebrows, obviously we're not going to bother looking at because I use my Laura Mercier. But also the blusher, actually. Blush is on, and I think it looks really nice. So yeah, I'm pleased with the look. My lipstick's come off, but we weren't testing that. That's just I've had the most delicious Gale's breakfast. Oh my word, it was delicious. It was some kind of berry almond soaked oats concoction. It was absolutely gorgeous. So about to hop on the train, and I will check in with you a bit later. So it's 5 o'clock. And I'm just about to catch the train home to London from Hastings, and I can see, I've just looked in the mirror because I can't actually see while I'm filming, but there's been some fallout here and a little bit there, and that's a little bit odd, and some smudging actually, which is weird because the mascara never smudges like that. So I mean, it does seem odd that the eyeliner would smudge down here when it's actually been applied on my eyelid, but anyway, very odd. And some smearing here. But the concealer is looking good, and I think there is definitely some blusher left still. So at the moment I'm pretty happy with the RMS, not so happy with the Rumi. So here we are, it is now about 9:30 in the evening. I'm just about to take my makeup off, and we're having our final check-in. I've just inspected my face with a fine tooth comb, or rather a very magnified mirror, and we've still got this weird fallout, which I assume must be mascara, but it never falls out like this, never. Very, very odd. So I don't know what's gone on and whether the eyeliner has had anything to do with it. Now let's just inspect the eyes. The eyeshadow's definitely come off quite a bit, so I think you do need some kind of primer to keep the eyeshadow on, because that didn't really work just with applying the eyeshadow over a sort of bare eyelids. And yeah, there's a bit of eyeliner left on that side. Yeah, there's a little bit left, but I don't know whether it's caused anything weird with the mascara, but that's been a disaster area. But if we look at the concealer, let me see if I can show you. If we look at the concealer, it looks pretty good, I would say. This side as well. I'm really quite impressed. There hasn't been any congealing whatsoever in this tear trough, as it were. So very pleased about that. And I would say the blusher is still there as well. So that's looking good. So I think RMS, generally speaking, has scored. The eyeshadow, as I say, needed a primer, something to keep the eyeshadow on. So there we have it. That is the 9:30 in the evening check-in. So I think that is actually 12 hours. I think that's 13 hours. And there's another brand that I forgot to mention, which is called Cosmetiques. Now, I haven't actually tried any of their cosmetics, but I looked them up as well and their company details, and they are also not a family-run business. They're also an e-commerce business run by a young entrepreneur. And I suppose we have to think carefully whether we're happy to give our money to an e-commerce business that sells itself as a family brand for mature women or not. Future me popping in because I completely forgot to ask for your comments at the end of the video, and also to let me know whether you've tried any of these products, particularly the brands that are targeting mature women. What do you think about that as a concept? And have you tried any of them, and what do you think? Cosmetiques or Rumi Cosmetiques, or I think there's another one, I can't remember what it's called now. Anyway, let me know in the comments because I love reading them and interacting with you there. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, I'd be so grateful if you'd give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, because those three things help YouTube to understand that my content is for mature women like us and will put it in front of other mature women who might enjoy it. And if you'd like to hear more from me, I have a monthly newsletter, and the link to subscribe is in the description box below. And in that, I don't just talk about beauty, fashion and lifestyle, but also books, music, podcasts, TV, film, and all the other bits and bobs that bring us joy. And thank you so much for watching. It means the absolute world to me. It really does. And thank you so much, particularly to new subscribers who have joined me in the last few weeks. I'm so delighted to have you. And of course, thank you to my loyal subscribers who've been with me from the early days. And I hope you're all doing really well. and I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye!